Hello and welcome to your own channel Whiteboard Learning Platform. My name is Anuradha Tripathi. In today's session, we are going to discuss the daily current affairs. So, for the very first topic, that first we will be discussing about a Kartarpur corridor. Then second, we will be discussing about Amazon Future Engineering program. This program have been extended to Eklavya School. Eklavya School is a model whereby it provide the residential schooling for the students who belongs to a scheduled tribe community. From the geography section, we will be discussing about the cloud chamber. Okay, this cloud chamber program is launched by Government of India, is planning to basically launch this cloud chamber as a part of Mission Mawsum. From the science and technology, we are going to discuss about what is the meaning of spoofed call, and in order to track or block the spoofed call specifically from the international call, Government of India have launched International Incoming Spoofed Call Prevention System. This is very important because recently Honorable Prime Minister of India have talked about on All India Radio about the cyber arrest. Okay, so that's how this is very essential. From the environment section, we are going to discuss about a 16th conference of the party related to the convention on the biological diversity. As of now, a 16th COP is going on in Cali, Colombia, whereby to prevent the destruction of the biodiversity, on the various aspects related to the biodiversity, decision will be taken. So we can say that this scope related to CBD is the news of the day, because environment is one of the important section and biodiversity is even more important. So stay tuned till the end so that we can discuss that what is the important point related to COP. Okay, so first topic that we are going to discuss about the Kartarpur corridor. So this agreement is basically about a seamless visa free movement across India and Pakistan. Fine. Because in Pakistan, one of the important shrine related to Sikhism religion is located. So in order to promote the movement of the people across the border of this India and Pakistan to visit that important religious place, so this agreement was signed in 2019 for the 5 years. Okay, so because of which in 2024 the timeline ended. So this agreement now further extended for the next upcoming 5 years, which is 2024 to 2019. This you should remember. Okay, so under the Kartarpur renewed corridor agreement, the extension have been given for next 5 years. Fine. There was one of the important concern that have been raised by India during the renewal of this corridor agreement was related to removal of a fee which is levied by the Pakistan, that is approximate of 160-80 rupees, that is the service fees that is levied by the Pakistan to the Indian pilgrimage. So but this demand to remove of the service fee is denied by Pakistan. So one hand we have got the renewal of the agreement, but on other hand the request of Indians to remove this service fees has been denied, because what Pakistan have put the argument that to maintain this pilgrimage site approximate $17 million fund is required. So in order to balance the expense to manage this pilgrimage site, it is crucial for them to levy this service fee. And another important concern which have been raised by Pakistan is that they have fixed a quota for Indians in a day, that maximum Indian can visit this site in particular in a day, that is 5,000. But as of now, not more than 250 to 300 Indians are visiting this particular shrine in a day. So because of which they are not able to fetch the revenues. So that is also one of the reason that they are not even thinking to remove this service fees. So this is about the Kartarpur corridor renewal of the agreement. Now we are going to discuss about Kartarpur corridor in detail. So what is this corridor about? Okay, so basically under this corridor, one important place which is located in the Narowal district of Punjab, province of Pakistan, whereby there is one Gurdwara, namely Darbar Sahib Gurdwara is located. So under this Kartarpur corridor agreement, there is a seamless access to this Narnaul district of Pakistan from the Dera Baba Nanak shrine, which is located in the Gurdaspur district of Indian Punjab province. So there is a connectivity between Narowal district of Punjab province of Pakistan and Gurdaspur district of Punjab province of India. So this corridor basically provides a visa free movement whereby Indian just need only a permit. So with the help of permit, they can visit this holy shrine. Fine. And what is the importance of this particular Darbar Sahib Gurdwara? So here basically the first Sikh Guru, namely Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he have spent his last years, which is the 18 years of his life, he have spent it at this particular place and died at this particular place. So that is how this is one of the important shrine or a holy place as far as the Sikhism as a religion is concerned. So under this corridor there is a free visa movement, they need only permit. So that was if we talk about why this corridor was constructed. So in order to celebrate the birth anniversary of 550th birth anniversary of the founder of Sikhism on 12th of November 2019, this corridor was constructed whereby Indian can visit this particular place without the need of a visa, but they need to pay a service fee that we have seen. So service fee and only permit is needed. Here in the last session also we had discussed that, you know, whenever you see any current affairs in the newspaper, so one news is related to a different segment of the syllabus. So here this Kartarpur corridor is important for GS paper second in international affair in bilateral agreement. Okay, but when we are discussing this, so we are coming across a one personality, namely Guru Nanak Dev. So this Guru Nanak Dev is very important as far as in Indian medieval history Bhakti movement is concerned. Fine. So while we are discussing this Kartarpur corridor, so we are reading about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, who is the founder of Sikhism. So that is also mentioned in NCERT in the Bhakti movement. So we have to study the contribution of Guru Nanak Dev Ji as far as the Bhakti movement is concerned. So fine. So that's how now we will be discussing about Guru Nanak Dev Ji as far as the Bhakti movement is concerned. So basically Guru Nanak Dev Ji, what he have done, he have promoted the Nirgun concept of Bhakti. So here what is the meaning of Nirgun concept? Basically this is about a God without attribute. God without attribute, and as far as God is concerned, it is formless. Fine, what does it mean? So we have seen that in Vedic tradition there are the multiple incarnation of the God, which fine. So in order to eliminate the dominance of Vedic tradition and Brahmanical supremacy, he have tried to simplify the bhakti or the concept of worship to the God. So that is what the importance of Guru Nanak Dev Ji as far as the Nirgun form of bhakti is concerned. And apart from this, he have also framed the rule for congregational worship. Congregational worship means whereby the people collectively they will be reciting the hymns. So in Vedic tradition, hymns are what? The Vedic mantras. But as far as Sikhism is concerned, so during the congregational worship means group of the people which is termed as the Sangat. So during this, they will be reciting the hymns which is known as Shabd. Fine. So this is what another contribution of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Then he have appointed another successor, namely Angad. So he is a second guru of Sikhism as a religion. Then another important thing we should know about what is this Adi Granth Sahib. So what will happen? The fifth guru of Sikhism, namely Guru Arjan, what he will be doing? He will try to compile all the Shabd, okay, Shabd which is sung by earlier four guru along with other religious leader also. For example, Kabir Das. Okay, so all this compilation will be done by the fifth preceptor or the guru, namely Guru Arjan Dev, and that will be termed as the Adi Granth Sahib, and whereby the hymns have been written, which is also known as the Gurbani. Fine. So we have seen that how one news is important for the different topic of the GS paper. So this is about Kartarpur corridor and Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Next important topic from the current affairs, that is about the Amazon Future Engineering Program. So we will be discussing about what is this Amazon Future Engineering Program, and now what is the current scenario, what development have been done. So basically, National Education Society for the tribal student. This society for the tribal student have launched the third phase. Okay, third phase of Amazon Future Engineering Program in 50 Eklavya model. So what is this Eklavya model? This is residential school for ST student. So in order to promote the education in the marginalized section of the society, particularly ST, the concept of Eklavya model schools was launched in the year 1997 and 1998. So in this particular school, the National Education Society for the Tribal Student is launched the third phase of Amazon Future Engineering Program. So now what will be done in this particular program? Here what will be done, basically underserved or underrepresented students, they will be getting the support. So whereby the resources will be provided in order to promote them that they should pursue the career in the computer science and other engineering subject. For example, STEM sector. STEM means science, technology, engineering and mathematics. So in order to promote the career as an opportunity, means science, technology, engineering as a career opportunity, so that is going to be promoted among the underserved and underrepresented student, specifically from the Eklavya model of the schools. So the student will be getting basically the support system. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about that what exactly is the Amazon Future Engineering Program. So this program is basically launched by the Amazon company. Okay. which is the part of their corporate social responsibility aspect. We know that as per the Companies Act, under section 135 of Companies Act, okay, certain company needs to invest their profit as a part of this corporate social responsibility, whereby they need to fulfill their social responsibility. For example, in education or in health. So Amazon company have launched this Amazon Future Engineering program as a part of their CSR. So here under this CSR, a funding support is provided in order to promote engineering as a career option from the schooling stage itself. So in this program, what Amazon company is doing, they are providing the support in terms of resource and funding, whereby the student from the underprivileged section will be getting the support, whereby they will be learning about, suppose, coding. Okay, so in order to promote the STEM as a career option among the student, the resource and the funding support will be provided, and that too from kindergarten to 12th. Fine, so this is important aspect. Then apart from this resource and funding, there is a aspect of scholarship initiative as well. Approximate $40,000 that is will be provided to, not to the student, but at the college level or to the higher school seniors level. So whereby the scholarship will be provided, and that too in the computer science area. So basically what we can understand and how we can analyze this, that by investing the money in terms of the scholarship support or in terms of the resources and the funding support, whereby they are teaching the coding in the school itself, they are trying to make the student ready for the future job. So basically this is about a collaboration between the academics and the industry, whereby the industry relevant skill is going to be taught in the school itself. So that is going to bridge the gap between the education and the market relevant skill which is needed. Okay, so now, and the third is the company is also providing the paid internship to the student, whereby they can learn in the real environment. Okay, so the third important aspect is the recipients are offered the paid internship at Amazon to gain the real world experience. And apart from this, the company is also going to provide the career readiness opportunity to the university. So whereby they are going to provide the mentorship, career guidance, and hands-on learning opportunity. Hands-on learning opportunity means the practical. Okay, whatever they have been taught during the internship, they will be doing the practical on their own. So this is what the hands-on learning opportunity. Okay, now the last important aspect is there will be the focus on the diversity. So here the goal is basically is to create the inclusive workforce. Inclusive workforce, because till now whatever we have discussed, we have seen that the major importance will be given to the underserved community. Okay, so underserved community means who are not representative in the STEM sector, be it women, be it SC, be it ST community. So by promoting the STEM as a career opportunity, by providing them the guidance, by providing them the resources, so there will be a very inclusive workforce is going to be created in the high-tech sector. So this is about here. The focus of this Amazon Future Engineering program is, the focus is on diversity, the inclusive tech workforce. Now, the next we will be discussing about from the geography GS paper 1, a cloud chamber. Okay, so this cloud chamber as a part of mission MOSA. So here we are going to understand what is this particular chamber is about, what is the significance, and where it is going to be constructed. So that is, this cloud chamber is going to be constructed in the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology based in Pune. So this is just a fact that you should remember, that Government of India is planning to construct the cloud chamber, where this is the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology Institute, this is which is based in the Pune. So basically, what is this cloud chamber and what is the significance? So this cloud chamber is basically, it is a cylindrical or tubular drum, okay, and which is closed. So in this closed and controlled environment, the scientists basically, they are going to inject what, where the water vapor, aerosols and other element are going to be injected into this closed chamber, and by injecting and closing this particular chamber, they are going to study the interaction between the water vapor, aerosols and other element. Okay, so in this particular controlled chamber, they will be looking after the interaction that is happening. So at a particular temperature, how the condensation is happening, at another reduction of the temperature, how the precipitation is happening. So they are going to study the interparticle interaction as far as the formation of the cloud is concerned, as far as the process of condensation is concerned, and as far as the precipitation is concerned. And why this is important? Because we are living in a time period when, because of the global warming, what is happening? Climate change. And because of this climate change, the rainfall pattern is changing. Okay, and as far as India is concerned, we have the rainfall which is restricted in just 4 months, namely the monsoon season. And monsoon is nowhere left with the impact of the climate change. So we have seen that variation in the monsoon pattern because of the climate change. And monsoon is one of the most dynamic season in the, as far as the Indian subcontinent is concerned, because it is impacted by various other global atmospheric phenomena. For example, El Nino, okay, El Nino, Indian Ocean dipole, okay, easterly jet stream. And along with the climate change, it is even making monsoon rainfall pattern even more difficult to predict. Fine. So in order to have the better prediction ability, so this chamber, this cloud chamber is going to be established at Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorological Institute, which is based in the Pune. So by understanding the interaction between the different element of the weather phenomena is concerned, rainfall is concerned, so that is going to provide, or that will guide basically the weather modification strategy for the region, which is even more important for Indian agriculture. So this is about the cloud chamber. So here what we need to remember is that where it is going to be established. So Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology Organization in the Pune, and this is the part of the mission MOSAM. And here the aerosol and water vapor and other element are going to be injected in a chamber, whereby in the controlled environment their interaction is going to be studied, so that the extreme weather phenomena can be studied under this particular controlled environment, specifically the behavior of the cloud. So what kind of the behavior a cloud will have during the extreme weather event, because we have seen that within a very short span of time, a high intensity rainfall is one of the reason of the urban flooding in India. As of in the last 1 decade, we have seen. So urban flooding is again one of the major challenge for the urban infrastructure. Okay, so this closed cylindrical cloud chamber will help to identify the phenomena of this cloud during the normal or extreme weather, whereby this advanced input will help to develop the sustainable infrastructure development. So this is about the cloud chamber. Okay, so that we have discussed. So here we will see that what kind of the instrument that have been available in this in this cloud chamber, that for the next 18 to 24 months, which is 1.5 to 2 years, there will be the focus on development of the complex instrumentation, which will help the scientist to study the pattern of the interaction between the clouds, the different water droplet and the aerosols. Okay, so this is about the advanced instrument that will provide the help in order to do the in-depth study of this chamber. Now we'll see the what is the mission MOSM, because this cloud chamber is a part of the mission MOSM. So this was launched in September 2024 for the next 2 years, means up to 2026. So and with the budget outlay of 2000 crores rupees. So basically in this particular mission, in order to predict the monsoon pattern, the pattern of the monsoon wind in during the monsoon season, so here there will be a different observational system in terms of, suppose, radar and different accurate data model will be established and set up. So to improve the public outreach with respect to what? The weather related information. Fine. So here under this mission MOSM, what will be done? The observational system in order to observe the monsoon pattern is going to be enhanced. Okay. So this is about what is the objective. Now here this project will be implemented by the 3 different organizations. This is important for the prelims that you should remember. So for the mission MOSM, the implementation and the support will be provided by the IMD, which is Indian Meteorology Department, and then Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, which is based in the Pune, we have seen, where the cloud chamber will be established. And the third is a National Center for Medium Range Weather Forecasting. All these 3 are the key institution of Ministry of Earth Science. So if the question will come, the mission MOSM have been launched under which particular ministry? So the answer will be the Ministry of Earth Science, but there are the 3 different institutions which are involved in this mission MOSM. Now we will be discussing about international incoming spoofed call prevention system. So basically this system have been launched by Ministry of Communication and Development of the Northeast region. Okay, so before directly discussing about this prevention system, first we will be discussing what is the meaning of spoofed call, and this is important for the science and technology, which is mentioned in the GS paper 3. So what is spoofed call basically? So this call are basically a spam. Spam means here the caller is basically trying to disguise his identity by providing the false information. How? Whenever you see on the screen, whenever you are receiving a call, you will see the number on the screen of the phone. Okay, that will be having the calling line identity, with the help of which we can easily identify that either this call is from India or from any other country. So if the digit is 91, so we usually we understand that this call are from one Indian. Okay, so in this spoofed call, what is happening? There the international caller try to provide the basically deliberately falsify the information on the screen of the individual by using this 91 as a call. and we understand that another Indian have been called, and after when we are going to answer that call, so they are trying to basically either try to create a threat, how either they will be doing the financial scam, okay, they will be trying to uh, inform themselves as that they are from the government officials, okay, so being a government officials, they might be asking some of the personal information in terms of Aadhaar card or your PAN card, so that, and they are going to create a panic among the individual, and because of which sometime individual fall in the trap by providing the information. And for that matter, recently Honorable Prime Minister of India have also talked about on All India Radio about a digital, a cyber arrest, okay, and there is as no such concept of a digital or the cyber arrest in the Indian legal system, okay. So basically with the help of this spoofed call, where various cyber fraud is happening. So in order to protect the Indians not to fall in this trap, the government of India have launched this system. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about this international incoming spoofed call prevention system. So now you can understand this spoofed call is falsifying the information that they are Indian, but international calls are trying to trap the Indians. Fine. This is what the international incoming spoofed call prevention system, which is launched by Ministry of Communication and Development of the North Eastern region. Here, you should not get confused that this is about the Ministry of Information and Technology. So this is launched by Ministry of Communication and the Development of the Northeastern region, developed by, so this system have been developed by Department of Telecommunication and Telecom Service Provider. So when the question will be about development, then the answer will be Department of Telecommunication and Telecommunication Service Provider. Now you can easily understand what is going to be objective. So we have discussed, so to protect the Indian citizen from the cyber fraud with the help of spoofed international call and to build a safe digital space. Okay, so build a safe digital space and protecting the Indian citizens from the cyber crime. Now the question is how the system is going to work. That what is the working mechanism that it will create a safe digital environment or the safe digital space. So here basically before the call will reach to an Indian, so these international calls which are falsifying the information or disguising their identity, they are going to be blocked. So this system basically helps to block such fraud calls before they reach the potential victim. So when the system was being tested, so during the first 24 hours of their operations, they have identified and blocked around somewhere 13.5 million spoofed call, and out of this this much call, 90% of them were international. And this is what the nature of, we can say, the cyber crime means. International calls are trying to trap the Indians. Okay, so basically here what will be done, so the number will be blocked beforehand that the call is going to reach the potential victim. This is, you should remember. So it helps to block the fraud call. So this is about the International Center for the Spoofed Call System. Now the last topic of the day, which is very, very important, about the 16th COP, which is a conference of the party to the Convention on the Biological Diversity. So here, this is basically that in order to protect the biodiversity, biodiversity losses, this convention was signed. Okay, so this convention was signed, which came into existence in the United Nations Conference on the Environment and the Development, which is also known as the Rio Earth Summit that was happened in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in 1992, and one of the outcome of this conference was United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. Okay, so here the objective was basically to protect the or to reduce the biodiversity loss. So how that is going to be done? Because for that matter, the three different target and objective have been set. So we will be discussing, but before that, the certain fact you should know. If you talk about that, when it enter into the force means when it started getting implemented, then it is a 29th December 1993. So as of now, this CBD is in news because its 16th COP is going on currently in Cali, Colombia. Okay, this COP is a conference of the party whereby the member country who have signed this convention, they will be meeting and they will try to take the decision that how the ultimate goal of this convention can be fulfilled, whereby the biodiversity loss can be reversed. Fine. So this conference of the party is basically a decision making body. Fine. And this COP is basically met by annually. Biannually means at the interval of 2 years. This is not a annual mechanism whereby the COP will be meeting. So currently in 2024, for the 16th time they are meeting. So here you should know when for the first time they have met. So the first session of the COP, which is COP 1, happened in 1994 in the Bahamas. Fine. Then you should know about the secretariat. That secretariat means the assistance which is provided in order to implement the provision of this convention, that is located in the Montreal, Canada. If you talk about the how many member country have signed, so till now 196 nations have been signed, which makes this this is one of the most widely accepted the global convention. Here, what is more important that you should know, United States is the only United Nation country which haven't signed this CBD. So United States of America haven't signed the CBD, that you should remember as a fact. Okay. So now we will be looking after that what are the objective of this convention. So from the name itself, this is about the biological diversity. So here the biological diversity needs to be conserved. This is very, very important. Then here biological diversity basically have the various importance, economical importance, social importance, Okay, so economically and social importance ultimately leads to their usage. So their usage should be sustainable. It should not be like that for their economical significance, they should be over exploited. Fine. So there should be the sustainable usage of the component of the biological diversity. So this is one keyword can be the sustainable usage. One keyword can be conservation. Second is the sustainable usage. Then the third is, as I have told you, this biological diversity have the various socio-economic significance. So the socio-economic significance should not be resulted in a concentration of the few people, because that is going to be promote the further inequality in the society. So for that matter, this convention have mentioned one objective is the fair and equitable sharing of the benefit. Okay, the fair and equitable sharing of the benefit which is arising out of the utilization of the genetic resources. So how you can remember? So whenever there will be a question, you should look for the three words. One is conservation, second is a sustainable use, and the third is fair and equitable sharing of benefit. These are the three keywords with respect to the objective of Convention on the Biological Diversity. Next is you should know what is the governing body, that who is going to be look after that, to what extent we have reached this objective. Then there is conference of the party, COP. Okay. Now for this particular year, when the COP 16 is going on in Cali, Colombia, so what you should remember from the perspective of prelims, the theme of this particular COP 16. So this is the peace with nature. So as of now, this is going on, which started from the 21st of October and it will be conducted till 1st of November. So for this year, this is very, very important, and that what is the theme? So peace with the nature. Now we are going to discuss that what is the point of discussion of 16th COP, which is going on in 2024. So one is basically related to check about a 30 into 30 target. This target is basically that is signed in back in during the COP 15 that was done in 2022. Okay, so they are going to check out about the progress of this 30-30 target. So what is this target? So here basically what we need to understand is, under this particular target, a 30% of the land and ocean area and 30% of degraded area, land, ocean and degraded, and 30% of both of them, it needs to be conserved. Okay, it needs to be conserved or protected by 2030. So first 30 is about 30% and another 30 is about the time period. So 30% of land, ocean and degraded area needs to be protected by 2030. So this year, because that was signed, that was agreed in the COP 15 of 2022. So now they are going to see that what exactly have been done, because in order to achieve this target, all the member country, we have seen there are 196 country. So all the member country, they need to submit their national biodiversity strategy and the action plan. What is this national biodiversity strategy and action plan? That every country need to submit the action plan, that how they are going to achieve this target. Okay, and it is mandated under Article 6. Under Article 6 of CBD, every member country needs to submit their broader action plan, that how this 30 into 30 target is going to be completed in their respective country. Okay, this is on the basically a similar line. Okay, we have you must be knowing about a Paris Agreement. This Paris Agreement was about that by 2030 we need to ensure that the global temperature should not be raised beyond 1.5 degree as compared to the pre-industrial level. So how that is going to be done? Every country needs to submit their INDC. Okay, INDC is nationally determined contribution, means what every country is going to do in order to achieve this global target. So on the similar line, this 30 into 30 target, for that matter, every member country needs to submit their biodiversity strategy and the action plan, and that is something mentioned in Article 6 of CBD. This is very, very important, because when INDC was very much discussed in the newspaper after 2015. So in one of the question of the prelims, UPSC have asked about what is the INDC. So that was related to the Paris Agreement of United Nations Framework Convention on the Climate Change. Okay, and here this National Biodiversity Strategy and the Action Plan is related to United Nations Convention on the Biological Diversity, Article 6. This is very, very important bit which you cannot afford to lose. Now the question is, till now how many countries have submitted their action plan? So 32, and India is expected, because India have updated its biodiversity action plan, and soon we are going to see in the newspaper that in COP 16 of CBD, India have submitted their National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan. So you have to keep the eye on the update. Another important discussion which will be revolving, which will be the focus of this COP16 is High Sea Treaty. What is this High Sea Treaty? The sea are one of the important hotspot of the biodiversity. So in order to protect the biodiversity of the high sea area, there was an agreement which was signed in the last year 2023, that High Sea Treaty, which is also known as Agreement on the Biodiversity Beyond the National Jurisdiction, under the UNCLOS, okay, United Nations Convention on the Law on the Governing the Sea Area. So in order to prevent the biodiversity losses in the High Sea Treaty, in the high sea area, this treaty was signed. So there will be, this is basically a separate international agreement to maintain the ecological health of the ocean. Okay, so discussion will be revolving around on this particular treaty as well. Now, at the COP16, the focus will be on the protecting the biodiversity of the biodiversity rich ocean area and ensuring that there should be the fair distribution of the genetic resources, which is one of the important objective of this convention. Now, the next point of discussion will be about that sharing of the genetic resources, which is a third major goal or objective. So there will be discussion that in order to make the biodiversity resources equitable among the society, how their benefit can be shared. So there will be discussion on how to share the profit from the genetic sequencing, the digital genetic sequencing of the plant and organism, especially among the indigenous population. Because we know that indigenous population, specifically ST community, they dependent upon the forest. They are dependent upon the forest for their shelter and livelihood. So in order to share the genetic resources, how it can be implemented. Now the next is, we have seen this 30 into 30 target. Okay, so in order to implement or to achieve the target, a huge financial resources is needed. So there will be the discussion about the financial mobilization as well. Okay, so this Kunming-Montreal framework, which was signed in the COP 15 of CBD, okay, which also talks about that per year approximate $200 billion is required every year by 2030 in order to spend to achieve the Kunming-Montreal framework. This is basically, this Kunming-Montreal framework have a 23 target that needs to be achieved by 2030, and there are 4 goals that needs to be achieved by 2050. So in order to fulfill the target or the goal of this particular Montreal framework agreement, this much amount, 200 billion per year, is needed by the 2030 to be spent in order to conserve. So how this much amount is going to be raised? And another thing is, the developed country needs to be provided the 20 to 30 billion annually to the developing country. Why? Because developed country have the historic responsibility of 21st century challenge. Because in this particular convention, what have been discussed, that the climate change and biodiversity loss are 2 interlinked phenomena, and climate change in the present scenario which we are seeing is basically the result of the policy of this developed country. So they owe the historic responsibility to reverse these issues of the 21st century. So therefore they need to provide the funding support to the developing country, whereby they can contribute in order to meet the objective of this Kunming-Montreal framework goal. Okay, so there in this particular COP 16, One important aspect will be the financial mobilization. Then the last will be about elimination of the harmful subsidy. So here the countries are expected to phase out approximate 500 billion worth of the harmful subsidy by 2030. By eliminating this harmful subsidy, basically the 30-30 target will be achieved. So this is one of the mechanism or the policy input whereby by eliminating the harmful subsidy, what will be done? We can conserve and protect the degraded area. For example, because of the irrational use of the chemical or the synthetic fertilizers, how we are creating the soil pollution. Okay, because of the over exploitation of the groundwater. So how the pollution is being done? So by eliminating all those harmful subsidy, that biodiversity can be protected. Fine. So this is about today's session. So here itself, I will conclude the today's current affairs session. Thank you so much.